What's up guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and for today's vid, I will be doing the summary of chapter 4. So if you want to learn something about me and you want to get some information about the chapter 4, so stay watching, stay tuned, and I'll be back guys. Okay guys, so for the chapter 4, the network access, support our communication, the OSI model divides the function of a data network into layers. So each layer works with the layers above the below to transmit data. Then two layers of the OSI model are so closely tied that according to the TCP or the IP model, they are in essence one layer. So those two layers are the data link layer and the physical layer. So on the sending device, it is the role of the data link layer to prepare data for transmission and control how that data access the physical media. And however, a physical layer controls how the data is transmitted into the physical media by encoding the binary digits that represent data into signals. So on the receiving end, the physical layer receives signals across the connecting media, and after decoding the signal back into data, the physical layer passes the frame to the data link layer for acceptance and processing. So this chapter begins with the general functions of the physical layer and the standards and protocols. So that manage the transmission of data across the local media, and it also introduces the functions of the data link layer and the protocol associated with it. So the types of connections. So whether connecting to a local printer in the home or a web site in another country, before any network communications can occur, a physical connection to a local network must be established. A physical connection can be a wired connection using a cable or a wireless connection using radio waves. And the type of physical connection used is dependent upon the setup of the network. So, for example, in many corporate offices, employees have desktops or laptops, computers, that are physically connected via cable to a shared switch, and this type of setup is a wired network. So the data is transmitted through a physical cable. So the next one is the physical layer. The OSI layer provides the means to transport the bits that make up a data link layer from across the network media. So this layer accepts a complete frame from the data link layer and encodes it as a series of signals that are transmitted onto the local media. The encoded bits that comprise a frame and received by either an end device or an intermediate device. So the process that data undergoes from a source node to a destination node is, the first one is the user data is assigned or segmented by the transport layer and placed into packets by the network layer, and further encapsulated into frames by the data link layer. And the second one is the physical layer encodes the frames and creates the electrical, optical, or radio wave signals that represent the bits in each frame. Then the third one is these signals are then sent on the media one at a time. And for the last one, the destination node physical layer retrieves these individual signals from the media and restore them to their bit representation, and passes the bits up to the data link layer as a complete frame. So the characteristic of copper cabling. Network use copper media because it is inexpensive, easy to install, and has low resistance to electrical current. So however, copper media is limited by distance and signal interference. So data is transmitted on copper cables as electrical pulses. A detector in the network interface of a destination device must receive a signal that can be successfully decoded to match the signal sent. So however, the longer the signal travels, the more it deteriorates. So this is referred to as signal attenuation. And for this reason, all copper media must follow strict distance limitation as specified by the guiding standards. So the properties of UTP cabling. So when used as a networking medium, unshielded twisted pair or the UTP cabling consists of 4 pairs of color-coded copper wires that have been twisted together and then encased in a flexible plastic shell. So its small size can be advantageous during installation. The UTP cable does not use shielding to counter the effects of EMI and the RFI. Instead, cable designers have discovered that they can limit the negative effects of crosstalk by the first one is cancellation. Cancellation is designers now pair wires in a circuit. So when two wires in an electrical circuit are placed close together, their magnetic fields are the exact opposite of each other. So therefore, the two magnetic fields cancel each other and also cancel out any outside or the EMI and RFI signals. So varying the number of twists wire pair. To further enhance the cancellation effect of paired circuit wires, designers vary the number of twists of each wire pair in a cable. So UTP cable must follow precise specifications governing how many twists or braids are permitted per meter of cable. Then notice in the figure that a different number of times. Then a UTP cable relies solely on the cancellation of effect produced by twisted wire pairs to limit signal degradation and effectively provide self-shielding for wire pairs within the network media. So for our properties of fiber optic cabling, optical fiber cable transmits data over longer distance and at higher bandwidths than any other networking media. Unlike copper wires, fiber optic cable transmits signals with less attenuation and is completely immune to EMI and RFI. So optic fiber is commonly used to interconnect network devices. So optical fiber is a flexible but extremely thin, transparent strand of very pure glass, not much bigger than a human hair. Bits are encoded on the fiber as light impulses, and the fiber optic cable acts as a waveguide or light pipe to transmit light between the two ends with minimal loss of signal. So the properties of wireless media. Wireless media carry electromagnetic signals that represent the binary digits of data communications using radio or microwave frequencies. So wireless media provides the greatest mobility options of all media, and the number of wireless-enabled devices continue to increase. So as network bandwidth option increase, wireless is quickly gaining in popularity in enterprise networks. So now, wireless does have some areas of concern, including the first one is the coverage area. The next one is the interference, the third one is the security, and the last one is the shared medium. So although wireless is increasing in popularity for this connectivity, copper and fiber are the most popular physical layer media for network deployments. So for the data link layer, the data link layer of the OSI model is responsible for the first one is allowing the upper layers to access the media. Then the next one is the accepting layer 3 packets and packaging them into frames. And the third one is preparing network data for the physical network. And the next one is controlling how data is placed and received on the media. The next one is exchanging frames between modes over a physical network media such as UTP or fiber optic. The next one is receiving and directing packets to an upper layer protocol. And the last one is performing error detection. So, physical and logical topologies. So, the topology of a network is the arrangement of relationship of the network devices and the interconnections between them. So, LAN and WAN topologies can be viewed in two ways. So, the first one is the physical topology. So, refers to the physical connections and identifies how end devices and infrastructure devices such as routers, switches, and wireless access points are interconnected. So physical topologies are usually point-to-point or star. Then the next one is the logical topology. That refers to the way a network transfers frame from one node to another or to the next. This arrangement consists of virtual connectivity connections between the nodes of a network. So these logical signals paths are defined by data link layer protocols. The logical topology of point-to-point links is relatively simple, while shared media offers different access control methods. So that's all for chapter 4, the network access. And I hope guys you learned something from me and you got some informations about the chapter 4. And stay tuned and stay watch for my next video